Next on Worcester News tonight, a truck crashing into a bridge in the city, causing a hazardous situation and an emergency response to close down a busy roadway. Plus, Wachusett Regional High School conducting a tabletop disaster drill today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Bottary. A central Massachusetts school is taking steps to prepare for any type of emergency. Wachusett Regional High School hosted a tabletop discussion with its staff as well as local first responders. In the wake of the Parkland, Florida shooting, educators say they always need to be ready. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with the details. Cam?
Yeah, Anna, the school says it's crucial for them to maintain a solid relationship between themselves and emergency personnel teams, and they feel an event like today allows them to do that.
The images of the Parkland school shooting still fresh. Educators and first responders hosted a tabletop exercise at Wachusett Regional High School Thursday.
We could all sit around. There's a scenario. It's driven by different times on a clock, and then different groups get together and have to communicate and solve the problem.
The group simulated an emergency situation. Principal Bill Biando says the demonstration is geared at getting the school and police on the same page.
A big school, a lot of kids, a lot of footprint in the communities, and unfortunately things can happen. So we want to be as best prepared as we can for any type of incident that may happen here.
Lieutenant Tim Sherblum of the Holden Police Department says they're meeting with Wachusett now on a regular basis to discuss potential scenarios.
I would say probably once a month with the schools and just go over planning and response to different things that can happen.
The school has been running similar tabletops for the last year. Deputy Superintendent Robert Burlow says shootings like Parkland unfortunately forces the district to do more.
I think the recent events have only gelled this as to, yeah, this is really important that we do this. And I think that that's a good feeling for people to come away with. Is practice, I think, helps us to feel a little bit more secure when an event does happen.
Now, Burlow says following today's discussion, he had faculty and staff walking up to him asking to do things like this more often so they could feel ready at any time. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. A Webster woman could be facing charges after taking her 10-year-old daughter without telling anyone. Police say 35-year-old Teresa Bodette doesn't have legal custody of her 10-year-old daughter, Lydia Davis. The child was reported missing by her father after she wasn't brought to school Wednesday morning. After issuing a "be on the lookout," Webster police say they received a tip on the whereabouts of Bodette.
So she was seen at a homeless shelter in Milford. The director notified, spoke to detectives here. There was some concerns as far as her well-being that were voiced to us by the director, which prompted us to reach out to the state police.
Bodette walked into the Northbridge police station with her daughter early Thursday evening. Webster police say charges may be pending. The state's hazmat team on scene of a busy Worcester street Thursday afternoon. A tractor trailer carrying a toxic chemical crashed into the Cambridge Street Bridge. While there were no injuries reported, the fire department say they want to make sure everyone stays safe. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
A portion of Cambridge Street is evacuated Thursday afternoon when a tractor trailer crashes into a bridge. The Worcester Fire Department says the truck was carrying a hazardous material.
It's not overly toxic. It's not combustible by itself, but if you have it touch certain materials or if it's heated, it can become combustible. It will explode violently with certain products that will not be anywhere near it.
Deputy Chief Martin Dyer says the oxidizing agent cumene hydroperoxide was leaking from a 55-gallon drum. The state's hazmat team was called in to be sure it was removed properly.
We initially went with a Tier 1 hazmat, which we always do to begin one of these situations to try to get in a little bit of an assessment. So we bumped it up to a Tier 2. Again, this is just as a precautionary measure to make sure that the guys on scene have enough help.
Police say there is no danger to the public and no one was injured, but for people who live on the street like Ashley Fincher, it wasn't easy trying to get home.
This has never happened like this before, where they had it blocked off so bad like this, so It looks pretty bad. A big inconvenience is causing traffic buildup is really bad. It's taking a long time to actually get here.
Sean Hartley works in the area and says he had to take a longer route to work.
I usually take this road to get to work because there's a little shortcut back here that I take. Most of the time they'll let you walk by, but I guess if there's chemicals involved, I don't want to breathe that in. So
Hartley says trucks getting stuck underneath this bridge happens far too often.
I've seen trucks get stuck over here. This is probably, in the 2 years that I've worked at Price Right, this is probably about the 4th vehicle I've seen stuck under there.
That bridge get hit so many times, all the time. And they hit this little bell thing that goes, when they go down here, when they hit that, they should know to turn around.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A Quinsigamond Community College student is one of only 20 students chosen nationwide for an academic scholarship. His college career started years after he graduated high school. It's his determination that's led to his success. Kyle Mondino is earning national honors for his work at Quinsigamond Community College. He's one of only 20 students chosen nationwide as a member of the 2018 All-USA academic team.
I was surprised. I mean, I'm one of those people that always says that I never win anything, so it was kind of nice to feel validated about the work I put in and the effort I put forth, so that meant a lot.
The winners, chosen by 3 national foundations, were selected for their academic achievements, leadership skills, and community and campus engagement. Along with earning an associate's degree in business administration, Mondino is involved in on-campus tutoring, the campus greenhouse, and the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Mondino's success didn't come right after high school. He took time off before enrolling at QCC.
Time off dragged on, and eventually I just got to the point where after working tons of different customer service jobs, that I wanted to get my degree and move on up. So when I was looking at colleges and having been 12 years out of high school, I decided that Quinsig would probably be a good fit to get reacclimated to the world of academia.
He says it's important to take advantage of opportunities, and it's never too late to pursue a college career.
Ultimately, a tool can just sit there and never be used, but if you decide to use it, it makes the job a whole lot easier. You can hammer a nail without a hammer, but I can tell you right now it's a whole lot easier with the hammer. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide to pick it up and use it.
Mondino will graduate in May from QCC with his associate's degree. He plans to transfer to a 4-year college or university to earn a degree in management. Governor Charlie Baker leading a ceremony at the state's Vietnam War Memorial in Worcester to remember and thank veterans. Hundreds attended today to give the veterans a welcome many did not receive when they returned home from war. Our Rosalind Flaherty was at today's ceremony and has more.
45 years ago, the last American combat troops left Vietnam. Thursday, on Vietnam Veterans Day, Massachusetts welcomed veterans home and said thank you.
For these people in particular, it still matters that their service is respected and that their service was important.
Richard Early served from 1967 to 1971 in the United States Army Security Agency. He says when he came home from Vietnam, it wasn't easy.
Saying you were in the Army was not a resume builder. So you just went on. In real life, I was a school teacher, so being in the Army was not important.
Early lost his college roommate in the war and says although it was tragic, seeing hundreds gather to honor the sacrifices of veterans makes him feel good.
This is a good day, and it's important, and I think it's important for the next generation.
Linda Solomini Cafferty is the president of the New England region of Gold Star Wives of America. Her husband Tom served for 3 years in Vietnam and died in 2003. She says the amount of support she's seeing today is overwhelming.
I am so taken by this memorial and the welcome home that was given to all the people present.
And says she wants people to never forget veterans.
Never to forget their families that are left behind, and always, always give them a welcome.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey is looking to put a stop to competitive electric suppliers who she says are targeting residential customers. The AG released a report showing over a 2-year period, customers who switched to these companies for electricity paid more than $175 million more than people who stayed with their utility companies. Healey says in Worcester, 19,000 families paid an extra $250,000 in just 1 month last year. She says the companies go door to door and target specific households.
Over again, we found that these companies focused on signing up people who could least afford it. They targeted families having the most trouble paying their bill every month. Our investigation found that 1 in 3 low-income households in the state, 36%, were signed up with a competitive supplier from 2016 to 2017.
Earlier this week, Healey announced a $5 million settlement with Viridian Energy LLC for misleading residents with deceptive marketing and sales tactics. A new food delivery system is making its way to Worcester. Uber Eats is part of the popular ride-sharing service. Starting Thursday, customers can download the app, order food, and have it delivered to them. Restaurants participating like O'Connor's say it will increase business.
It's a wonderful service for people who are housebound or may not be able to get out, the elderly, students who maybe don't have transport to come and collect their food. They now have an option other than pizza.
Other restaurants, including